Welcome and thank you for tuning in. This is episode 2 of Tips from the OG. In this episode, we'll cover the basic tools that you'll need on your grill mastery journey. U.S. Patent 519-7455-A was filed by Stephen Frost Roebling on March 6, 1992. A little over a year later, on March 30th, 1993, he was granted the patent for the charcoal chimney starter. Now, some credit caterer Jim Minion as having the original idea for this marvel. Others pay homage to the trio of Hugh King, LaVon Johnson, and Garner Byers as its creators sometime back in the 1960s. I do not wish to get in the middle of any arguments over who was first, but just want to say thanks to the whole gang, as this thing is magic. It's simple to operate. You simply bunch up 2 sheets of newspaper in the bottom chamber, load charcoal into the cylinder, light the paper, and 15 to 20 minutes later, pour the white dusted coals on your grill. Game on. Now, ignorance has resulted in the handy fluid pictured on the right as getting a really bad name. It's really not fair, as if this stuff is used properly, it can be a very useful and convenient tool. Everyone has probably suffered through the novice griller who overloaded a cheap grill with charcoal and doused those coals with lighter fluid and then cooked the food too soon. The common result had you forcing down a meal that tasted much more like lighter fluid than the actual food that was grilled. If you need to start your fire with lighter fluid, here's the trick. Place a small stack of 5 to 7 charcoal briquettes in your grill, squirt lighter fluid on top of them, and light them. Wait 10 minutes, after which add enough charcoal briquettes on top of the original ones you ignited to create the size of the fire that you need. By the time the new coals are white, dusted, and ready for cooking, the lighter fluid will have burned off the first 5 to 7 coals long. When we're talking about your basic grilling tongs and spatulas, I get very picky here. The Octopus's Garden is located very close to a restaurant supply store, and that welcomes retail shoppers. From there, we were able to get these very long tongs, and I think they're really a requirement. What they help you do is reach across the grill and have access to every item you're grilling without having to worry about burning your hands or your forearms by putting them too close to the heat. For that reason, also get yourself a long-handled spatula. Now, as sure as the sun rises in the east, once your close friends and relatives hear you've taken to serious grilling, a well-intentioned loved one will bestow upon you a luxurious set of grilling utensils. Be gracious, as a lot of thought and love went into their choosing this gift for you. It will truly have been a gift from their heart. These things look really nice, and they look really expensive. And they do have uses. Unfortunately, few of these sets have practical instruments. Nearly every set I've ever seen has teeth with tongs. Teeth on tongs ruin meals, period. They tear meats, they puncture sausage casings, not to be used with any food on your grill. They do have uses, though. The good news is when building your fire, you'll need to move some hot coals around at various times to keep the fire balanced and add additional coals to the fire. Sometimes your fire is losing steam and you'll have to add to it. Teeth tongs are ideal for grabbing hot coals and moving them around without burning yourself. So, as everything else in life, there's a silver lining. And now, giving credit where credit's due, my brother-in-law gets the kudos for introducing me to 2 of the items pictured in this slide. The local restaurant supply store that I'd mentioned carries food handling gloves in the 100 plus count per box, and I must say these are a real helper. They're great for taking meat out of the packaging, rinsing or handling meats and vegetables, applying oils and rubs, carving meats. Heck, I burn through 2 to 3 pair per meal. Use them. You'll be happy that you did. Pictured in the middle is butcher's twine. That's for tying meats and roasts. Nice tip to help you cook those pieces much more evenly. Now, every politician wanting to raise taxes says that the impact is less than a cup of coffee a day. And when I hear that, I look at them as if they're from Mars. We do not purport to be coffee aficionados, and we drink the stuff for its morning jolt, and then we move on with our day. We're a Folgers house, and we might spend $10 a month on coffee. The money that we save drinking plain old cups of mud goes to things we enjoy more. You'll be introduced to some of those things during subsequent episodes. But as a result of being a Folgers house, we have a few empty plastic coffee cans around. We save them for gardening, grease disposal, or, with my brother-in-law's lessons, storing extra charcoal briquettes. The Folgers can makes it much easier to add a few briquettes at a time to a fire that might be losing steam. It's a far more efficient way of handling coals than just trying to pour a few briquettes out of a bag and wind up having too many tumble out and wind up getting wasted and your fire being built more than you wanted or needed. Now, in the lower right-hand corner is a dripping pan. Very important when you're roasting or smoking meats, fish, or poultry. And on the lower left-hand corner, you have a marvel called the grilling basket. Get yourself one of these. None of us eat enough vegetables, and using one of these makes roasting and caramelizing veggies as easy as pie. It's also magic if you want to grill up some small sized shrimp without fear of those little bugs dropping through your grill grates. Thank you for tuning in. Episode 3 will be the choice of your charcoal and seasonings. Thank you.